happy people. So today we are going to be finishing up the rest of my tomatoes that I got. If you saw the previous video, the tomato paste, you heard me talk about all the tomatoes. I ended up with like 30 pounds of Roma. So I am today going to make spaghetti sauce with the rest that I have left. I made the video on tomato paste. I did not make the video on tomato sauce. Tomato sauce, you can pretty much watch the tomato paste video, and it's all the way up until the 4-hour mark. On there is your tomato sauce, or with this, if you want to make tomato sauce with these ingredients, you could also do the same thing. And I'll just tell you during the video when you would be at the tomato sauce stage, basically. Which basically is just your spaghetti sauce is just a little thicker than tomato sauce. So, you guys watch the intro, and I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. So now, to get started, this here is my Roma tomatoes I've already cut up to save some time on this video. You want to see how big they are because they were humongous Roma tomatoes, you can check out the tomato paste video. I have 9 pounds here left of Roma tomatoes, and I have 2 pounds of cherry tomatoes, so that's going to be the base of our sauce here. And let's just get started. So I have already cut up most of the Roma tomatoes. Like I said, they're pretty big ones. So I have these 2, and I just want to show you how I cut them so you'll be aware. I just do a slice, and then you want to cut off your little tip there. Oh, can y'all see that? Probably not. And just 1, 2. I try to cut these a little bit so it'll help with the cooking process a little faster. Let's try this again so y'all can see this. And just cut out your green little tip where it came off the stem. And that is it. Alright, now we're going to add all of this to our pot here. Try to move this to where y'all can see this. You definitely can't see in there, so I'm going to have to move the camera in a minute. Alright, so now we're just going to turn on our heat here. Bring it all the way up to a high heat. And I'm going to chop this one, and then we'll add all to the pot here. Now, I'm going to add all of my tomatoes to the pot here. And I don't know the best way to do this. If I want to drop it in like this or not. Oh, made it. Now, in this bowl here, I have 2 large red bell peppers. I have cut the same way I cut the tomatoes, 3 slices, cut down the middle, and then just chop them into thirds. 1 green bell pepper, I have 2 shallots, and I have 4 yellow onions or sweet onions. This is probably about, I don't even know. Let's just say 1.5 cups of butternut squash. The butternut squash is to give it a little sweetness, like when you eat the ragu one or something like that, like you get a little sweetness, underlying flavor. That is from usually sugar, but butternut squash, when it's boiled or baked, it usually gives you a little sweetness, and this is also a way of adding vegetables into your pasta sauce. So I just add it so I don't have to add sugar to it. But if my tomatoes are too acidic in the end, I will add just a little bit of agave to it. But hopefully I won't have to add that. So our butternut squash, bell peppers, onions, and shallots all go in. It's a large pot there. I am not going to use any water. I'm going to let the juice from the tomatoes create the liquid. So we're not going to use any water at all. Now I am just going to chop up my cherry tomatoes just a little bit so they'll cook a little faster. I don't have to wait on them to pop. So just a couple of little slices. You don't even have to cut them into fours. Cutting them in half will be fine. I wouldn't worry about cutting off the ends there because they're very small and they shouldn't be a problem. They shouldn't be hard. And we'll just throw this on top of the rest. Alright, so let me bring this a little closer here. Alright, so I've added all my tomatoes here. So now we have to add a few seasonings in this bowl here. This is a tablespoon of each. There's tarragon, thyme, and dill. I almost forgot what I had. Here I got 3 bay leaves, but I would say that's 2 large ones really, like that. Here I have sea salt and basil. Let me just run the ingredients up the screen here because I almost forgot what I got. But sea salt and basil, 1 tablespoon of each one of those. I also have a tablespoon of oregano, but this is oregano that has not been ground down, so I would say 2 tablespoons if you're using that's already ground down. I'm going to actually rub this in my hand here. There we go. And just 1 tablespoon of oil. Usually when some people make their spaghetti sauce, they start out by sauteing their onions and bell peppers, so they usually have a little oil. I am not sauteing first, so I'm just going to add a little oil to this. It will also help with softening your vegetables faster. Stir this all up if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So let me move this and let me bring y'all a little closer here so maybe y'all can see this. Hopefully y'all can see that a little better there. You can actually see some of my tomatoes are already starting to wilt. As you can see that one right there. So you definitely want to keep this moving. Don't let it just sit because the tomatoes on the bottom will burn. but you'll get a little juice here in a minute. And you want to cook this down to, like I say, to all your vegetables are soft. Your bell peppers are soft, the tomato skins are soft, your butternut squash is soft. And I think I done mixed it all up here together. Alright, so now I'm just going to put my top on this so it will create some condensation there to help with the juice. And I'll let this go until it's, like I say, very soft, and then we'll come back. So I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright, so it has been about 30 minutes here. I don't know if y'all can see for as all that steam, but it has created quite a bit of juice. Like the juice is all the way up to my spoon here. On its own, no water, just tomato juice only. And my tomatoes have started to separate from the skins. My onions are starting to soften. My bell peppers can definitely use some more time. So I'm just going to continue to cook this until everything's nice and soft. So, be back in a bit. Alright, so it has been about an hour here for my tomatoes to been boiling down. As you can see, it has reduced quite a bit here. And I think everything is tender now, so just do this, little butternut squash. You see how that just breaks apart, no pressure whatsoever. The bell peppers I can pretty much stick the fork through. So we are all done. I'm just going to turn the heat all the way off. And I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes to cool off before we move on to the next stage, because I don't want it to be too hot while I'm blending it. So I'm going to let this just sit here for about 10 minutes or so, cooling. And then we'll move on to the next part here. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I am back. It has been about 30 minutes or so. I've let my tomatoes cool off a little bit. My pot is still kind of warm, but cool enough for me to be able to touch it. And I don't think it'll blow up my blender now. So now we are just going to add this to the blender and puree it up so that way we can get rid of all the chunks and it can be a smooth spaghetti sauce. Alright, so now I'm just going to strain this through a strainer just in case there's any big chunks or pieces left. Like, see, that is a little bit of the tomato skin. So we're just going to strain it through to catch any seeds, skins, lumps. And actually, I don't think I really need to strain this that much. I don't see that much of skin. I do see seeds, but again, I don't care about the seeds. Yeah, I don't see that much skin, so actually I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. I'm not seeing that. I see little bits and pieces, but that's fine with me. I like it to be a little pieces. I want to be able to see stuff in there. A little bit of the bell pepper. I see some seeds, but like I say, for me that's not a problem. If you want it to be a little more smoother, no seeds, then like I say, strain it. But you don't have to. Alright, so now, in the second batch here, I am going to add some ginger. This is about 2 thumbs of ginger. The reason why I did not put the ginger in the pot when everything was boiling is because I did not want the ginger to sink to the bottom and burn. So I put the ginger in at the end, and that way when you're reheating it later when you're making spaghetti or whatever you're doing with the sauce, your ginger doesn't lose its flavor. So we're going to add that in here now and blend it up. I did chop it up pretty good there in small bits so that way you won't get the little stringy parts in your sauce. Alright, and let's continue to blend. Alright, so as you guys can see, my sauce is all ready to go. It is quite thick there. Nice spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce. As my husband say, Happy, you can tell you from the South. You say spaghetti sauce. So, for me it is spaghetti sauce. This is usually what I would use in spaghetti, but also pasta, some penne, any of those. And basically, now I am all done. I know some people, after they blended it, they put it back on the heat to continue to boil and get much thicker, but I think this is a pretty good consistency for me. If you like it to be a little thicker, you can definitely put it back in the pot and put it back on boil till it boils down to as thick as you like. But I am finished. I don't feel the need to heat it again because I'm going to put this in jars to be canned, to be put away. So when I get ready to cook whatever I want to cook, my spaghetti sauce, I'm going to heat it again, so there's no point of me heating it 3-4 times, and then that'll pretty much just take away all of your flavor. So one good time of heating it when you're cooking your vegetables down to soften up and then blend, then you can put it in your jars and things like that, so then when you take it out to cook, that'll just be your second cook. It won't be heated all the way through for a 3rd, 4th time and things like that. So give me just a second and I'm gonna go get some jars. Alright, I got my jars here. I'm just going to do 2 right now, and then I'll do the rest after I turn the camera off. But alright, jar. And in my first jar here, I'm going to put some mushrooms. This is just about a 1/2 cup of the baby bella mushrooms. I sauteed up with a little grapeseed oil and some sea salt. Just because I like mushroom spaghetti sauce too, so I'm going to do at least one. Well, probably 2 jars with the mushrooms in it, and then the rest without. Alright, here we go. Alright, and there you have it. As you guys can see, the mushroom one. See that? Nice and mushroomy. And then our regular one, you can see your spices, well, herbs in there. All nice. Good flavor. Alright, so now I am all done with this video. Not finished canning this, but I'm definitely done with the video part. So give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. I got tomato sauce everywhere. Alright, back to what I was saying. Give me a like if you like this pasta sauce. Write in the comments what you put in your pasta sauce. If you're a parent, what you put in there to hide from your kids, like zucchinis and squashes and things like that in your pasta sauce, or what you do different, like what other herbs or seasonings do you use in your pasta sauce, or whatever you use in yours. Just let me know. I might want to add it to my repertoire too. Subscribe. So that way YouTube will keep pushing my videos so I can get out there, you know, be known. I'm just playing. But do subscribe if you are not a subscribing member already. Those of you who are subscribing, thank you very much. I totally appreciate it. But if you are not, go ahead. Click that little button right. I think it's down on this side right here. Yeah. Down here, you know, the subscribe, the red button. But click that, share. Let other people know that I'm around and how easy it is to make things in the alkaline life. And that is it, people. And y'all know what I'm about to say. Until the next video, y'all stay happy.